So if you go to Aba and make this allegation, you probably not come back. I'm
a journalist. I just asked the question.
No. So what it is that it's not 5.8 kilometers. It's a dual carriageway. It is something else, and I would like you to just go there. So the allegation of the so-called opposition, because they couldn't fix it. So somebody has come to fix it. And every other person is very happy. And Julius Beja is handing over the project to me next week. And
How much did the project cost?
It has gone beyond the 30 billion.
So
it's actually somewhere about 36.5 billion now. Yeah, that's what it is.
And it's good use of money.
Absolutely. It's one of the most important parts of the Southeast, not just Aba. Okay, so virtually everything is made on Port Harcourt Road. It's a very long stretch of road. Right. I would like you to see.
No, I saw part of it while we were, coming here.
No, you've not gone to Aba.
No, I've not gone to Aba.
Port Harcourt Road is inside Aba, not Aba Port Harcourt Road.
Okay.
There's a Port Harcourt Road in Aba.
Okay.
That takes you from inside town all the way to the expressway.
Okay.
Okay, so, and everybody is happy. Even the opposition is happy.
Okay. What are you doing as regards to...
Okay, you also talked about Government House.
Yeah, Government House, yes. And the specialist hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened was that my predecessor commissioned an uncompleted building on the 28th of May.
Uncompleted building?
Uncompleted building on the 28th of May. I would also like you to see it. My people will take you to it. So, and it is supposed to be new Government House. So what did he do? He completed the ground floor, finished it very well, put Italian furniture. I don't like to talk about it, but since you asked,
yes.
Put Italian furniture in the place, painted it, and commissioned it. Okay, so the bedroom. So after the inauguration, I went there. When I looked at the ground floor, I was very happy. But as I went to the first and second floor, they were not even plastered. No sanitary fittings, nothing. So that's fraud.
Really?
Yeah. And I would like you, I've not put one dime.
No, are you going to probe your predecessor for that?
You have only 4 years. And when you get into some of these distractive things, you lose focus. I have too much work to do. Probing him is, of course, we called in KPMG at some point, and I'm sure you must have seen that, where they looked at one of the accounts, and they found that some 10 billion naira was drawn for a non-existent airport. So that's the only one that we are saying, bring back our money or give us the airport.
But he says he's fixed the airport, that the airport is, that things are working with the airport.
Yeah, it's Audio Airport.
Audio Airport.
We've just flagged off the construction of the Abia Airport. That's better. Probing is a waste of my time.
But the question a lot of people ask is, if you have an airport in Owerri, why do you need another Abia Airport? That's always the argument. Does it make financial?
It's a good argument.
Does it make financial?
It's a good argument. But the truth about it is that when you go elsewhere, you find that in a place like Texas, how many airports do you have?
But they have
even in Houston alone.
I mean, I was in Texas. I was in Dallas in what's it called, in January. You have the Dallas Fort Worth Airport, which is about the second, third biggest airport in America. Then you have other airports around.
Yes, you have Houston, Hobby. You have Intercontinental.
You have the economic activity to carry. Yeah. I just came in from DC. There was Dulles. There was Ronald Reagan. There was Baltimore.
We are thinking for the future. But let me tell you. Let me tell you something.
You don't have the funds.
No, let me tell you.
The airport. You still have to borrow money. Why you building it?
The airport is not mine. It's a federal government project.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's funding the federal government?
Federal government. Okay. So let me explain how it happened.
Yeah.
So the federal government came up to say it wanted to build a few airports, I think 4 or 5. And Abia was one of them. Okay? And it was not going to be an airport. It was an airstrip that they planned. So I went and met the president. And I said, Mr. President, the difference between an airport and an airstrip is the wrong way. So if you are going to do an airstrip in Abia, can I partner with you and make it a full-fledged airport? And he said, oh, there's no problem with that. I should go and meet the Honorable Minister for Aviation, Festus Keyamo. And I went and met him, and he didn't have a problem with that. So, and we sat down. You bring your own money. We bring our counterpart for them.
How much are you putting into it?
I'm not sure yet. But our contribution is now the wrong way.
How much is the federal government putting into this?
Not sure yet, too. Work is still going on.
So it's still in the ideation stage of the project?
No, we have flagged off, but then a lot of work is still going on.
But the money you will put into it, where is it going to come from? You have to borrow. Because the state does not have this, the
you just sit down.
I know you are in the private sector.
Yeah, not just in the private sector.
Yeah, you know how to risk capital.
You are going into my territory. Just leave that area for me. It's my trade secret, money.
I know.
Yeah.
You raise money.
Yeah, so
safe to call you Ezego in banking. The king of raising money in banking.
Yeah.
But it's going to put back a deadline on the states.
Don't worry about that.
And that's what we're scared of, because most states are
Rufai, let me tell you something. I just saw the numbers from DMO that in 2023, they said we inherited a debt profile of 138 billion. But that's at the end of last year that we reduced it to 66 billion. We've not borrowed one time.
So how did you clear it? How did you not borrow?
Trade secrets.
Tell us about it.
No, you have to consult me and pay me some money for me to tell you.
Should I turn off the camera?
No, you pay me first. Okay, so... But the thing about money, let me tell you.
The opposition keeps saying, you are borrowing. That it's a.
Let them come with the facts now. Borrowing. Who did I borrow? Did I borrow from them? If I borrowed from a bank, it will be clear. DMO will tell you.
But I will. Okay,
so let me also
figures of the airport.
Let me also go back.
Yes.
And let you know that by the time we looked at the books and the numbers, we found that it was actually 192 billion. That my predecessor handed over to me as debt.
How much did it
192
leave for you in the coffers? How much did it leave as money on ground for you to run?
So if you have money in the coffers, you wouldn't be owing. So we had netted. If you net off what is left in the coffers, we had a debt profile of 192 billion.
So he left nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
He left nothing in the coffers?
Nothing. So when you say, you need to understand. I can leave 100 naira in one account, and I'm owing 100 naira in another account. No, listen, that's how it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when you say how much did he leave, you are owing money and you are leaving money. Does it make sense?
It doesn't.
Okay, so what you do is you take the total assets and remove your liabilities, and you know what the net is. And I'm saying the net he left for us was 192 billion. So if
more than what the DMO quoted.
Yes, because DMO didn't include pension areas, which we cleared off. They didn't include salary areas, which we also paid. We didn't include all the parastatals that were being owed, including Oboneano Polytechnic and then the medical personnel. So those we have taken care of. And today, I can tell you the state is running very, very well. Don't bother yourself about where I'm going to find the money, because that's my own area. So
you talked about pension arrears. Part of the talking point the opposition said is they said you lied that you cleared the pension arrears. And they said you also repeated that lie by 2023, that you've not cleared any pension arrears. They said they employed some people into the state service before you came in, that you rooted most of them out, you pulled them out, and you said no, that these employments were not done properly. I mean, what do you have to say about all of these things?
Well, I have responded to them, but if you need me to respond, I will respond again. First of all, pension arrears, some of them we're talking of numbers of 45 to 56 months. People were not paid. So we sat down with the pensioners and we said, okay, you are being owed this much. We need to take them out. So the leadership of pensioners sat down with us for a very long period of time, and we agreed. And by Easter last year, we paid a total of about 10 billion to pensioners to clear all the arrears. So it was like you are going to pay in full and final settlement. Somebody's been owing you for 56 months. No chance that you may get it. But I said, I didn't need it. I need this money in your hands. So if you were here, or if you watched, you found that the pensioners organized a Thanksgiving service. A lot of them were very happy.
But what about the people that make the argument, there's unemployment in the land and all of that? And secondly, the case of the multi-purpose specialist hospital that they said, no, was abandoned. We need to stay part of their talking point. And afterwards, I want us to shift and now talk some national politics, You want to respond to those arguments that say,
Which one is national politics?
No, we have to talk national politics. There's no how you come here.
I don't talk politics.
You don't talk politics?
I'm not a politician.
Okay, you're not a politician, it's fine. But you know a certain individual called Abure.
Oh, yes, I know him. Is he part of your national politics?
Oh, yes, national politics, National Labour Party politics.
Okay.
There's a contestation,
okay, so
and they're mentioning your name. They said,
really?
You are the dramatis personae.
Do I want to be governor and chairman at the same time?
If you hear the likes of Arabami and everything, they said, no, you are the ones, you and your very good friend Peter Obi are the ones trying to take over the reins of the party. And the Abure faction said, they're not having it from you. And they don't want to have it from you. But let's talk about, the specialist hospital scenario first. And afterwards, the argument people make as regards, these people are poor, they finally got a job in government, and you said no. So can you tamper justice with mercy, and things like that?
No, that's why I said they should apply whenever the embargo is lifted. Is it not fair?
Okay.
Yeah, so if you were in my shoes, somebody sets a landmine for you, you want to go and fall into it.
Okay.
You have a huge, you are paying some 65,000 people. That's the population of civil servants in Abia. 65,000. And then somebody maybe puts a few more thousand for you. It wasn't in good faith. But it's gone. So at the appropriate time, and I'm sure that those of them who are forward-looking would have found something else to do. And of course, the interesting thing we are doing here is to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. Our people are very entrepreneurial. Okay, so quite unlike some of us who want to be given money. Majority of our people don't want to be given money. They want you to create the enabling environment for their businesses to thrive. And once you fix the roads, you clean the environment, you provide good schools for their children to go to, you have good hospitals they can go to. Don't care about government.
Specialist hospital.
Specialist hospital. Now, the specialist hospital was not abandoned. In fact, it's actually working. What we did was to convert it to a general hospital because it's in Aba.